In this video, we'll take a look at how to draw water droplets. We'll start by drawing several different organic shapes on a sheet of gray drawing paper. I'm using an HB pencil here in the early stages of the drawing. We'll draw a few different shapes. We'll draw a few circles, and again, a couple of irregular shapes. Water droplets are not always perfect circles. Now, before we start adding the value, let's talk a little bit about how light behaves in a water droplet. Because a water droplet is transparent and light can enter inside of it, light is going to behave in a completely different manner than what we would see with a solid object. In this case, we have a strong, more direct light source originating from the upper right side. We also, however, have a secondary light source that's a bit weaker but at a more severe angle. Many times you'll find that you have multiple light sources instead of just one. What happens here is light enters into the right side where we have the strongest light source, and then that light is refracted or dispersed within the water droplet, creating an area of lighter value on the opposite side. We can see this area of lighter value illustrated here in the center water droplet. What also happens, and is counterintuitive, is that we have an area of darker value right next to the strongest highlight, as we can see illustrated here. And since we have two light sources, and since we're viewing these water droplets from a straight-on view, we can see that the cast shadow extends almost entirely around each of the water droplets. We'll keep all this information in mind as we develop the value. So now that we've got the basic shapes of each water droplet on the surface, we'll start to build up the value. Value, of course, is the darkness or lightness of a color. It gives us information about the form of the object as well as light within the scene. I'll continue developing the darker areas with an HB pencil. I'll try to create smooth gradations of value, and I'll leave areas of highlight alone, which we'll address with a white charcoal pencil later in the drawing. As I apply the graphite with the pencil, I'll try to make small circles. This will allow me to have greater control on the subtle changes of value that happen on the surface. Now, this paper that I'm working on does have a bit of tooth or texture associated with it. So to create a more natural surface texture, I'll use a blending stump to work the graphite material into the tooth of the paper. Using a blending stump allows me a greater level of control over the blending. But it should be noted that the blending stump is also a mark-making tool, much like the pencil, so we should consider the strokes that are made with the blending stump as we blend. We're trying to mimic the strokes that were made with the graphite pencil. Now that we've got some of our darker initial values in place, we can start to push some of the lighter values. This will increase the value range that we're using in the drawing, leading to a more believable image. We'll start with light applications with the white charcoal pencil on the left side of the water droplet where the light has been refracted. Then we'll address the stronger highlight that happens on the right side of the water droplet. There is an area of slight highlight that happens near the center in this case. And just as we did with the graphite applications, we'll lightly blend this application with the blending stump. Then we can revisit again with the white charcoal pencil, intensifying some of the highlights that happen. Every water droplet that you draw will be slightly different, and there may be subtle highlights that happen here and there. Now, to intensify some of the darker values, we'll use a softer 4B pencil to create a bit of a darker mark. We'll create this darker mark in the area of cast shadow on the right side of this water droplet. Then again, to make the surface texture a bit more believable, we'll use the blending stump to gently blend this application. A couple of additional subtle highlights are added on the left side of the water droplet. And in this case, I'll intensify the area of refracted light just a bit further with an additional application of the white charcoal pencil. And again, I'll smooth the transition by using the blending stump. Now that we've created our first water droplet, we can just repeat this process on a couple of the smaller, more circular water droplets. The process is exactly the same. We'll start with an HB pencil, lightly applying the areas of darker value, and then we'll switch over to the blending stump, working this material into the surface. And then again, we'll switch over to the white charcoal pencil, addressing the areas of lighter value. Of course, we'll want to make sure that we keep our light source consistent for each one of the water droplets that we create. So we'll be considering that the strongest light source is originating from the right side, which is producing a strong highlight and an area of darker value around it. Then we'll have, of course, our area of refracted light on the left side of the water droplet, where the value is lighter, but the value is a bit more dispersed and a little bit more evenly distributed. Then, of course, to make the water droplets appear grounded onto a surface, we'll need to add a little bit of cast shadow underneath them as well. Alright, now that we've got a couple of circular water droplets on the surface, let's handle one that's a little bit broken and has a little bit more of an irregular shape. You can see here at the top where the water droplet is broken because it's starting to drip just a bit. And for this reason, we'll avoid putting an area of cast shadow around it. It almost fades into the color or the value of the surface that the water droplet is on. We'll also notice here that the area of strong highlight that happens on the side closest to the dominant light source is a bit irregular, and it's following the contour of the shape of the water droplet. But again, we'll still follow the same steps here. We'll define the areas of darker value with the HB pencil, working that in with the blending stump. Then of course we'll address the areas of lighter value and then push the darker values. Alright, let's do one more water droplet, and of course this one is dripping like the last one, and for this reason again we'll leave a little bit of an open space towards the top and allow it to fade into the color of the background. We'll see here again that the strong highlight that's closest to the dominant light source is following the contours of the form of the water droplet. But again, we will still have that area of refracted light happening on the left side. And we can intensify the highlight as well with additional applications of the white charcoal pencil. And just as we have with the other water droplets, we'll work this application in with the blending stump and create smooth transitions of value happening on the surface. We'll add a couple of additional subtle highlights that happen in various locations within this water droplet, and again we'll go back and intensify the areas of darkest value using the softer 4B pencil. And of course we'll work this application in with the blending stump. And because this particular water droplet is a bit thicker, the areas of cast shadow will extend a bit further out on either side of it. We'll use the blending stump to pull a little bit more cast shadow on the opposite side of our dominant light source. And now our sketch of a variety of different water droplets is complete. I hope this video helped you out, and thanks for watching. If you're ready to learn more about drawing, then check out the Secrets to Drawing video course. You can click on the video to learn more about the course, which is the most comprehensive video course available for learning how to draw. We cover everything from the basics like line, shape, form, value, texture, color, and color theory. And we talk about each one of the traditional drawing media, including graphite, pen and ink, charcoal, colored pencils, oil pastels, and soft pastels, all while covering the traditional concepts of portrait drawing, landscape drawing, and figure drawing. You'll learn the core concepts behind seeing as an artist. You'll learn how to draw from observation and draw from photos. Now, there's more than just videos. Ebooks are included with the course as well. Each module includes an illustrated ebook that is taken directly from the video included in the module. It includes images and a written commentary. There are 28 total modules in the course, which include 26 ebooks that total 178 pages. That's over 5 hours of video instruction. I hope you'll check out the Secrets to Drawing video course.